Good afternoon, and welcome to the World Series of Fighting 7 conference call. During the Q&A session, if you'd like to ask a question, please hit star 1 on your telephone keypad, and I'll access your line at that time. If you'd like to withdraw your question, just hit the pound key. I will now turn you over to your host, John Bayruti.
Thank you very much, operator. On behalf of World Series of Fighting, I'd like to thank you and welcome you to today's call. We have our 7th and final WSOF event this Saturday, December 7th. It's the first ever World Series of Fighting fight card in Canada. It's going to take place at the PNE Agrodome in Vancouver, British Columbia. There are 10 fights on the stacked card, 4 of which will be televised by NBC Sports Network, and at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, so it's live, and then preceding that will be undercard fights streaming live on the World Series of Fighting's official website, which you guys all know, www.wsof.com. That begins at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. Obviously, World Series of Fighting is very, very excited about its first ever event in Canada. This has been a great year for the World Series of Fighting. They've made tremendous strides, and they're looking forward to a great event Saturday and in the future. With us on the call today, along with the president of WSOF, Ray Seppo, we have 6 of the 8 fighters who will be participating on NBC Sports Network. They are Georgie Karkanian and Lance Palmer, who will be battling it out for the first ever WSOF Featherweight Championship. We've got Elvis Mutapcic and Jesse Taylor, who will be fighting in a middleweight tournament semifinal, and Nick Newell and Saba Fadai. So we've got 6 of the 8 that are going to be fighting on the main televised card on NBC Sports Network. So before we go to the Q&A, we'll go to some opening comments from all the participants, and we'll begin with the WSOF president, Ray Seppo. Ray, welcome to the call.
Thank you, John. And, of course, first of all, I want to thank all the media that's on this call, you guys, the press for World Series of Fighting, and, of course, the fighters that will be participating on Saturday night for WSOF 7. I'm really excited about this event for a few reasons. First being our first international event. You know, we've been saying that we're going to go globally, and this is the first. So excited about that. Secondly, it's our first featherweight title. It's going to be contested between Georgie Karkanian and Lance Palmer, which I think is going to be an amazing fight. It's going to be fireworks in that fight for sure. Of course, and thirdly, our fans in Canada gets to see World Series of Fighting firsthand. And the other exciting news is also that TSN2 will be also showing the fights on Sunday, December 8th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, which is also in Canada. A lot of good things for 2014. I've said this in a few interviews that we are looking to go global. I was in London to meet with a few weeks ago with IMG. They had 60 agents there. Very excited to be partners with them, and we are looking to go to be in every household around the world by the end of 2014. So exciting times, exciting things happening for World Series of Fighting. And again, I'm looking forward to the show, and it's a stack card, and all these guys, Jesse Taylor, Elvis Mutapcic, Nick Newell. I mean, these guys are just stars of the sport. So looking forward to that, and good luck to the rest of the guys who will be fighting that night.
Okay, great. Thanks, Ray. Okay, now we'll go to some opening comments from the fighters, and we'll start with the two participants for the inaugural WSOF Featherweight Championship. Georgie, would you go first, please?
Yeah, I'm very happy with the opportunity World Series of Fighting gave me, to fight for that 145-pound championship belt. I'm very excited to go to Canada. I've never been there. And just looking to go out there, pretty exciting fight for Canadian fans and for World Series of Fighting.
Okay, great. Thank you. Lance?
Hey, what's going on? Really excited for the opportunity from World Series of Fighting. Everything happened so fast. It's exciting how the ball's been rolling this past month for me. I'm just excited to go out there. I have a lot of friends in Canada who come and train with us at Team Alpha Male, and a lot of fans out there of our team. So I'm excited to go out there and put on a show for everyone.
Okay, thank you. Elvis, you're up.
Thanks, guys, for having me. I'm really excited to finally fight for World Series. It's been a long training camp for one fight. I'm ready to get in there, get it over with, and I'm really excited to be back up to Canada.
Okay. Thank you. Nick?
I'm excited to, fight for World Series of Fighting again. First time fighting for them was incredible, and, they always put on good shows, and this is my first fight out of the country. I'm excited to visit a new place, meet new people, and put on another exciting fight for the fans.
Great. Jesse?
I'm just really focused on the fight. I'm really hungry. I'm ready to get in there and do my job. I'm really happy to fight in Canada as well.
Okay, thank you. Sabah?
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm really excited to fight in my backyard, Vancouver. It's going to be a great fight. I have a lot of fans and family coming and supporting me. It's just going to be a great fight.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, all of you. Operator, will you give instructions again on how to ask a question?
If anyone would like to ask a question, please hit star 1 on your telephone keypad, star 1, and I'll access your line. If you'd like to withdraw your question, hit the pound key.
Okay, while we wait for our first question, Lance, you mentioned what a wild month it's been. Can you kind of go through what kind of month it's been for you?
Yeah, it's been exciting. Everything happened pretty quick with the signing with World Series Fighting and also with the title fight. So it's for me, I was in between contracts with another promotion, and we had a good couple phone calls with everyone at World Series of Fighting, and things just progressed. First, I was signing with them, and then next thing you know, Rick Glenn had to pull out of the fight, and they gave me the opportunity to step in for him on 4 weeks' notice. So it's been exciting, and it's been a lot of fun, the process so far leading up to this point.
Okay. Georgie, what do you know about Lance, and what kind of fight do you expect this Saturday?
I know that he's he comes from a good wrestling background. He trains with a good team. But, at the end of the day, it's an MMA fight. So once that door locks, it doesn't matter. It's not a wrestling match. I'm looking to go out there and go for a finish. It's a fight, and I like to fight. I don't mind getting punched in the face, and I don't mind punching him back. So, like I said, I'm just looking to go out there, put an exciting show for you guys and for the Canadian fans, and, I'm going for a finish.
Okay. Elvis, everyone knows what happened in your last fight and how the bout was canceled. Did you experience any negative fallout, or were people understanding in the fact that, none of this was your fault?
Well, I got 99% of the feedback was positive, but there was some people, that were questioning if I did take something or whatever happened, which there's always going to be that, it's always going to happen. Like I said, I was really upset that it happened. We get a chance to make our living doing what we love, and that night it got taken away, and if it wasn't for World Series being, such a great company, me and Jesse would have been out of a paycheck. So I just want to thank World Series for that, and I'm just real excited that we finally get to get in there and finish what we should have finished 3 months ago.
Okay. And what kind of a fight are you expecting with Jesse? And how familiar are you with Jesse?
I'm really familiar with Jesse. He's he's a very aggressive guy. He's an extremely good wrestler. I mean, he's a well-rounded guy. Guy's improved in every aspect, so you can't count, on anything that he hasn't improved. I got to expect the best fighter I ever faced out there, which I truly think he is. I expect him to be very aggressive, come forward, and I'm expecting a dogfight until the finish, and if there isn't a finish, I still expect, I'm expecting, I train for, usually 25 minutes of a dogfight, and this time I'm going to be able to pick up the pace a little bit, so I think there's going to be a lot of fireworks thrown by both of us.
Okay, and Jesse, what's your take going into this fight and after the cancellation?
I just want to get in there. I want to fight. And I know it's going to be a good one. I think it's just going to be fun. I want to go out there and have fun.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I know there's a lot of media on this call. If you want to ask a question, please punch in so you can ask questions. While we continue to wait for our first question, I'll ask Devon and Nick what their feelings are going into their match. We'll start with Devon.
I'm sorry, can you say the question one more time? Hello?
Yeah, just what are your thoughts or feelings fighting Nick, and what kind of fight do you expect?
Well, Nick is a tough guy himself. He's 10-0. A lot of the time I've been asked, how do you prepare for a guy with one arm, and you really don't. You can't bring in somebody and tie off their arm and stuff like that. It just doesn't work that way. I think he's a tough guy. He uses that arm as an advantage. I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm going to go out there, and like I said before, I'm going to go out there to hurt him. That's our job, to fight, and that's what I'm going to do. Especially coming to my town, and no, it's just not going to happen, man.
Okay. And Nick, what are your thoughts going into this fight, fighting on his home turf?
That doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter where I fight. It's another fight, and I have a tough opponent, and he's got. It sounds like he's got the right mindset. So, whatever. It's just another fight, and I'm gonna go out there and fight with everything I got, and it should be pretty entertaining.
Okay, we have a question in queue. Thank you.
We have a question from Mike Whitman with Sheerdog. Your line is live.
Oh, thank you very much. I'll open up with Ray, just a couple of kind of housekeeping questions. You're talking about international expansion, and we know you guys have been pretty aggressive with that this year, especially towards the end of this year. And I'm wondering what we can expect in 2014, specifically in Canada, opening up this international branch. Are we going to see multiple events in Canada next year, do you think?
Yes, absolutely. Just like we signed a deal with Australia and New Zealand, they're going to look to do 6 shows in New Zealand, 6 shows in Australia. So Canada will probably be about the same thing.
Okay.
Of course, not every show is going to be on the mothership, meaning it won't be on NBC. Probably out of those 6 shows, 2 of those shows will most likely be on NBC for sure.
Okay, and those shows that aren't on the mothership, as you say, would those be streamed live, you think?
Yes, I believe so. And there's also, things in the works in terms of probably having a local network that will actually show those fights as well.
Okay.
Locally, yeah.
And then also abroad, you guys recently announced a partnership with Japanese organization Pancrase, which has, been in this business for 20 years. I'm wondering, is there any progress on that? I know there was hinted at Yushin Okami maybe being on the card, or do you guys have a date for when that first Japanese event might take place?
Right now, there's no definite date, but we are looking at the end of March, probably early April.
Okay. And then thank you, Ray. I'll move on to Georgie. We've seen you compete several years now with great success in Bellator, and then more recently in Tachi Palace Fights and other organizations. It seems to me, and then of course, your World Series of Fighting debut, which was excellent against Waylon Lowe. It seems to me that you're really hitting your peak, you're hitting your stride. The age that you're at is the age we typically associate with athletes hitting their prime. Is that how you're feeling right now, and what do you think is the catalyst for you having so much momentum right now?
I think I just learn how to win fights and how to break my opponent, in a fight. Because before I used to go in a fight and look for a finish right away, and if I wouldn't get it, I'll get discouraged. And I lost some fights in the past. I learned from it, and I'm just being in the gym every day. I never take any days off, and the only times I take some time off is when I overtrain or if I get sick. But other than that, I'm in the gym every day, trying to learn, trying to work on my weaknesses. And I think that's it. And the main factor is just learning how to perform under bright lights. When those door locks and the cameras and everything and all the people, just learn how to fight and perform. And and I like to fight, and that's the main thing.
Okay. And then I have one for Lance, and then I'll get off here and clear up the line for somebody else. But Lance, Georgie has only lost to a handful of people in his career, and they've been excellent. His Bellator career was Patricio Pitbull and Joe Warren. The Warren loss is interesting to me, and that was a while ago, obviously, and Georgie has improved. But Warren is another clearly a standout wrestler, Greco-Roman world champion. You yourself, 4-time All-American. I'm wondering if you're aware of that fight, if you think that your wrestling is really going to be the key here as far as stifling his explosiveness standing up and being able to wear him out on the ground.
Yeah, I think everybody, everyone knows this, that everyone improves after, their past fights, and that's just the evolution of the sport. And so I know he's going to be better than he was his last fight against Waylon Lowe, and I'm going to be better than I was in June. And so those past fights, they're good to watch for tape and stuff like that, but you always have to expect an improved fighter. So I've improved everywhere, and I'm just looking forward to going out there and putting on a good fight, because I know Georgie's a tough dude, and I'm a tough dude as well. So it's going to be exciting.
Okay, thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thanks, Mike.
Our next question comes from Sean Al-Shadi from MMA Fighting.
Hey, guys. I appreciate the time. My first question is for Nick. Nick, you've talked pretty openly about, your ultimate goals and what it's going to take to get there. So, that being said, I guess my question is, was there any frustration on your end when you found out about JZ's dropout, especially now that, he's getting a title shot?
Wait, what? One more time?
Yeah, you've talked pretty openly about how your ultimate goals and what it's going to take to get there. I mean, that being said, was there any frustration on your end when you found out about Jay-Z's dropout and then, now that he's getting a title shot?
I didn't know he was getting a title shot, and I don't think we were ever matched up. So, I don't know where it came that he dropped out, but eventually that's someone that I'd like to fight. He's a very good fighter, and anything he gets, he deserves. But obviously, I think I'm the best, and I'm not really worried about him right now. I'm more worried about Fadai and the threats that he poses to me, and I'm just concentrated on this fight more than anything else. When it comes to the title and stuff like that, you have to be able to beat everyone if you think you're the best. So, in due time, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get there and fight whoever I have to fight. And there are no easy fights in World Series of Fighting. So, I'm just very happy to be able to fight and perform on such a big stage and test myself every fight.
Yeah. Well, obviously, things were difficult for you when you first started back in 2009. Do you feel like you still encounter that stigma pretty regularly now that it's 4 years later, or is it less so?
I feel like I'm beginning to be known more, for my skill than I am for having one hand. But, people are always going to say, look at that guy, I can't believe it, like the first new fans. So it's a part of who I am, If I go to the movies, they're like, look at that guy going to see a movie, he's only got one hand. So it's always going to be like that, and there's always going to be people that have negative things to say or whatever, but I never really paid attention to it. Growing up, I learned to have thick skin, and I'm a fighter at the end of the day, and I'm a good one. So that's why I'm in the World Series of Fighting. I'm here because of what I accomplished, and not because of the way I was born.
Yeah. Well, does this challenge excite you then? Because you've talked pretty often about how you want to always fight just ex-UFC guys now to kind of prove yourself.
That was something I said that was taken a little out of context. I just wanted tough fights. And World Series of Fighting has very tough fighters. And I just wanted to improve my level of competition. The last league I was in, I got a lot out of them, and they got a lot out of me, and it was a good partnership. But it was time to move on. The guys fighting for the title there are either inexperienced or have 500 records. I wanted to fight tough guys, and World Series of Fighting has been doing a great job to provide those to me, and I'm just continually getting to test myself, and I'm very happy.
Well, you got yourself a real tough fight, son.
Well, then my next question's for Sabat. What was your reaction when you got that phone call? I mean, obviously Nick presents a big opportunity to really get your name out there.
Yeah, thanks, Nick. Now everybody won't stop talking to me. It was a good opportunity. It's great. What else can you say? The guy's 10-0. He's done great things.
Yeah.
And signing with World Series, it's a great accomplishment for both of us. He asked for a tough fight. Well, he got one. So December 7th, let's put on a show, son.
We talked about it a little bit earlier, but the challenge Nick brings is really unique. So what have you done, I mean, both physically but also mentally to prepare for that?
At the end of the day, it's always the same. It's going to be the same preparation for every fight, really. Just tweaks here and there in the game plan and whatnot. Mentally, the game is always the same. You got to be going out there prepared to fight, to battle. You got to stay focused for how many ever minutes it takes to finish the fight. And that's what I'm planning on doing. I'm going out there to finish the fight. I don't care for judges or whatnot. And if it goes to a decision and, they give it to me and it's going to be controversial and all this crap, because it's in my hometown, I don't want that. So I'm going to go out there and I'm going to finish this fight.
All right. Well, then last thing for me, and I'll clear up the line. For Ray, What are the stakes for this fight coming in? I mean, for the winner, is the next title shot on the line?
Which fight? Safar and Nick?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I haven't thought about that yet. One step at a time. So I'm sure these guys. There's a possibility, but I'll have to sit down with the team and discuss that. So I can give you a different answer on that.
All right. Well, I appreciate the time, guys.
Thank you.
If anyone would like to ask a question, please hit star 1 on your telephone keypad, star 1, and I'll access your line. We do have a question from Eric Fontenez with MMAweekly.com. Your line is live.
All right, thank you. To Nick, Nick, of the 10 wins you have, 7 have come by submission. Can you tell me what you feel is the secret to your success with your grappling game in MMA?
I just work hard and I train a lot, and I'm very good at capitalizing on openings, and I have a lot of early finishes because I've been able to capitalize on people's first mistakes. I have a pretty good instincts, and when I go out there, I don't come to, play around and play patty cake and look at the other guy and be like, oh, cool, we're fighting, I come to fight the whole time, and I'm aggressive, and I think that's what, helps me be very good in the submission aspect of the sport.
And do you think in those fights, and you mentioned, you capitalize on early mistakes, do you think guys come into a fight with you not really giving you the credit for your grappling skill, and that's kind of where they mess up and you take advantage?
I don't know. You'd have to ask them. I've won a lot of jiu-jitsu tournaments. I tap out a lot of good black belts, and I think I have a pretty legit ground game. Whether someone wants to underestimate me or sleep on it or whatever, that's on them. You can think whatever you want to think, but at the end of the day, I'm as good as I am, and I have what I have. So, that's it. Doesn't, you could say whatever or think whatever, but what's going to happen is what happens.
And you say that people could think whatever they want and all that, but do you honestly believe that at this point in your career, being undefeated, that people still aren't giving you the credit that you deserve?
I don't really care. I'm not like, hey, give me more credit. I don't really care about that stuff. I just enjoy fighting, and I enjoy the competition, and I enjoy stuff like that. And if you want to give me credit, you can, and if you don't, you don't have to. Either way, I'm cool just having fun and doing something that I love.
All right, thanks for that. And one more question for Ray. If you could, it's a little bit off topic, but I wanted to know if you guys have an opponent lined up for Rousimar Palhares yet. Do you have a venue and a date or anything as far as that's concerned?
No, not at this present time. There's discussions. Most likely, he may fight in March, but there's nothing concrete, and we are looking to match him up with somebody. There's a few names floating around right now, but nothing concrete yet.
Okay, and one more thing about that. A lot of the backlash after he was released from the UFC is that he really didn't deserve to fight. A lot of people had that opinion. What was the selling point for you guys to pick up on Palhares?
I was one of the first people that also said the same thing, that I wasn't interested because, again, this is a sport, and I want to see, I don't want to see anybody get hurt badly or get paralyzed in that because of some, silliness. So when I heard an interview that Dana did, and then when I did a little bit of research that he had been suspended by the commission a few times. So those were, legitimate reasons why I didn't, want to sign him. But after listening to Renzo Gracie, who's a master of jiu-jitsu, and what he had to say about that particular incident, And then there's been discussions and dialogue going back and forth between our matchmaker and his team and Nogueira. And Nogueira is giving us his word that he's actually, sitting down with him and is helping with his camp, and they're looking to get him some help as well. So, all these things put together allowed me to look at it from a different perspective and talk to the team about it. And so, we decided that we were going to sign him. That being said, I will not tolerate any of that nonsense that happened before. If that happens again, he's gone, and I think it would be silly for him to happen for it to happen again, because I'm pretty sure if he goes from here, he won't have anywhere else to go. You know what I mean? So, but again, Nogueira and the team there were giving us his word, and that things will be good from here on in. So, we'll wait and see.
Is that an understanding from Paul Harris's side that if he pulls anything like he did in his last fight, that he's gone? Do they understand that fact?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay, great. Thanks for the answers, guys.
Thank you.
Our next question comes from George Kennebrew with MMA Mayhem Radio.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Good afternoon, gentlemen. This first question is for both Georgie and Lance. Guys, I know in MMA, they said, you can't get caught up in the hype and the excitement and the spectacle of, what's about to happen. But, you guys have been literally busting your butts for a long time, and now the World Series of Fighting has offered you this opportunity to compete for the first ever featherweight title and make history. Is there any deep anxiety, leading up to the fight where you just think like, man, I got a chance to make history here and really make a name for myself as the first ever World Series of Fighting featherweight champion?
No, not on my end. I think it's just it's another opportunity to go out there and show my skills and have fun doing it. I've competed my whole life at a high level, and kind of always been in the on the big stage at whatever level of my career, whether it's wrestling or MMA. So, and the teammates I train with are they're guys that have been there also. So it's not something that I really have anxiety about, but it's definitely exciting opportunity, and I'm sure we're both going to take full advantage of it on Saturday night.
You know what? I don't think hypes and all that bullshit. You can't believe in that, because the day you do, that's the day you're gonna lose. So, but fighting for a belt it's a great opportunity for me. I said this before. I'm very grateful that World Series of Fighting gave me the opportunity to fight for a belt, and I just can't wait. I'm just anxious to eat some food, man, and then fight the next day. So that's what I'm thinking about. But
that's what I'm thinking about, man. How was some food?
Yeah, just anxious to eat some food and then fight the next day. That's the best feeling. So yeah.
Very good, very good. And another question for Fadai. In spite of all this stuff that's being said about Nick Newell and the attention, I guess the mixed attention that's been coming on him, do you kind of look past all that, and do you just kind of just prepare yourself and just distance yourself and just think about the opportunity that you have, to really make a name for yourself, as the gentleman before me said before, and go out there and get yourself probably what would be the biggest win of your career?
That's all I can focus on. I can't focus on his success. I can't focus on, what he's got going on for himself. I got to focus on my training. I got to focus on, what I have to go through to beat this guy. And, man, your question was so damn long, and I'm so hungry I couldn't even pay attention to all of it. You know, I don't know what I'm going to say here, but I just want to fight, man. I just want to eat and fight. That's all I want to do right now. And, yeah, December 7th is going to be a great fight, man. That's all I can say.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, gentlemen, and I appreciate the time.
For sure, man. Eat some food for us.
Man, I'm hungry.
We do have a question from Brent Hall with ProFightingFans.com. Your line is live.
Hey, thanks, guys. I just have a couple of questions for Lance. This is obviously a huge fight for you. You train with an amazing group of fighters at Team Alpha Male. With the continued success of that group, does it put extra pressure on you heading into Saturday night?
No, not at all. The extra pressure is something that you put on yourself. It's just something that's all mental. I'm just excited to go out there and compete because that's why we're in the sport, to compete, and we do what we love. And there's no extra pressure based on what my teammates have accomplished. Because we're all our own fighters, and so I'm my own fighter. So we all have our own things that we're good at and things that we like to do. And even though we're on the same team, and my teammates in the UFC have had success so far this year, it's I'm just excited to go out there and have fun and be able to compete.
And was it easier to train for this particular fight because so many of the guys in your camp are also training for big fights?
Yeah, definitely. That's been the thing in the past. Sometimes guys haven't had fights around the same time, but my teammate Chris Holdsworth fought last week. I'm fighting this week, and then we got 4 guys on the Sacramento card next weekend. So, we had our whole team in there. So it was a strong camp, and everybody's pumped up, and it was on a different level with our training.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Good luck to everyone on Saturday night.
Okay. Thank you. We just have enough time to go through, get some closing comments from the fighters and Ray. Once again, this Saturday, December 7th, World Series fighting, really awaited Canada. Watch the background noise, fellas. Thank you. Once again, this Saturday, WSOF's first venture into Canada, World Series of Fighting 7, the PNE Agrodome in Vancouver, British Columbia. The televised card, 4 bouts on NBC Sports Network, begins at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, all live. And then 6 more fights, the terrific card, will be streamed on WSOF.com beginning at 6:30 Eastern and 3:30 Pacific. Tickets, as usual, are reasonably priced. We hope to see you there. But if you can't be there, we want you to definitely tune in on NBC Network, Sports Network, and WSOF official website. This one, we're going to go to closing comments. To the media, thank you for your continued support. Fighters, good luck to you all. We'll start closing comments with Georgie.
Yeah. Again, thanks to World Series of Fighting. Thanks to Ray Seffel for giving me this great opportunity to fight this Saturday for the belt. And I can't wait to finish this year with the victory and put an exciting fight for the Canadian fans. Thank you.
Fantastic. Best of luck to you. Lance?
Yeah, I want to thank everybody. Thanks, Ray and World Series, for the opportunity for this fight. And I'm excited just to put on a good show for the fans in Vancouver and, everyone watching on TV as well. I'm going to go out there and take it to them and get the win to bring back the sack.
All right, great. Good luck to you. Elvis had to drop off the call, so we're going to move on to Jesse for your closing comments. Jesse?
I'm ready. Me and Elvis are going to put on a really good show, and I'm really happy to fight for WSOF, fight in Canada. Thank you, Ray Seffo, for everything you've done. And yeah, I'm ready. I'm hungry. I'm ready.
Okay, thanks. Nick, can we get some closing comments from you, please?
Yeah, I've never been more hungry or motivated, and I really know that I have a great opportunity in front of me, and I'm willing to make the most of it and expect a great showing from me on Saturday night and another entertaining fight.
Okay, and last but certainly not least, can we get your closing comments, Saba?
Yeah, December 7th, live on NBC in my backyard, Vancouver, BC. World Series of Fighting 7, fighting Nick Newell. Nick, you're going to get hit. It's going to hurt. I'm going to test your heart. So come out swinging.
I will, bro. I will. Trust me on that.
Bring your A game, man. That's all I want. That's all I want. That's all I ask for. I want a good fight.
All right, great. Thank you. Ray, we can wrap this call up, but we want to get your closing comments.
Yes, just before I thank everybody, I just want to say hi to Sabah today because I don't think I mentioned him when I first I was reading out the names. Sorry about that, brother. But I want to thank the media for being here and the fans for the from day one that we've gotten love and support from both the fans and the media. So it'll be an exciting night, another world title fight. Look forward to going to Canada, Vancouver again. And again, if tune in on NBC Sports Network, otherwise watch it on WSOF.com or TSN Sunday. Again, thank you everybody, and have a great day.
Okay. That's going to wrap up the call. Thanks to Debbie and Maggie for helping make this call run so smoothly from conference group and to all the media. Once again, thanks for your continued support. This has been a great year for the WSOF, and Saturday is going to be a fitting conclusion to what's been a terrific year. There's more to come. And again, thanks for your participation today. Everyone have a great day. And good luck again to all the fighters. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.